Today, I want to take you on an exciting journey into the fascinating world of quantum physics and its surprising relationship with metaphysics. Now, I know those words might sound a bit complicated, but don't worry. I'll explain everything in a way that's easy to understand. So, what is quantum physics? Quantum physics is a branch of science that studies the tiniest particles in our universe, like atoms and subatomic particles. You can think of these particles as the building blocks of everything around us: your desk, your favorite toy, and even your own body. In the world of quantum physics, things get really strange. For example, particles can exist in multiple places at the same time, a concept called superposition. Imagine if you could be in two different places, like at school and at home, at the same time. That's a bit like what happens in the quantum world. Another mind-boggling idea is quantum entanglement. This means that two particles can become connected in such a way that when you change one, the other one changes too, no matter how far apart they are. It's like having a twin who always knows what you're thinking, even if they're on the other side of the world. Now, let's talk about metaphysics. Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that explores the fundamental nature of reality, existence, and the universe. It asks questions like, what is the nature of time? Do we have free will? What is consciousness? While quantum physics deals with the scientific study of particles, metaphysics dives deep into questions that science can't always answer. So, how do these two fields connect? Quantum physics and metaphysics often overlap because they both deal with the nature of reality. For example, when physicists talk about particles being in multiple places or being connected, it raises big questions about what reality really is. Are we living in a world where everything is separate, or are we all connected in ways we can't see? Some metaphysicians and philosophers have taken ideas from quantum physics to explore concepts like consciousness and the nature of the universe. They ask questions like, if particles are connected in strange ways, what does that mean for our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe? The truth is, you are not what you were probably taught you are. You are not as tangibly real as you think. You are quantum. You are eternal. Unlocking the power of quantum physics for a better life. Now let's dive even deeper into quantum physics and discover how you can use its ideas to improve your life and your mindset, almost like a superpower. Remember, quantum physics studies the tiniest parts of our universe, things like atoms and particles. It shows us that these tiny particles can behave in surprising ways, like being in two places at once or being mysteriously connected through entanglement. These amazing concepts not only change how we see the universe, but they can also inspire us to think differently about our own lives. Understanding the observer effect in quantum physics. Let's push deeper into this fascinating concept of quantum physics known as the observer effect. This idea is not only intriguing, but also challenges our understanding of reality. So let's dive into how observing particles changes their behavior. What is the observer effect? The observer effect refers to the phenomenon where the act of observing or measuring a quantum particle affects its state. In simpler terms, when scientists try to observe or measure certain properties of particles, like their position or momentum, the very act of doing so can change how these particles behave. How does this work? One, wave-particle duality. One of the core ideas in quantum physics is wave-particle duality. This means that particles like electrons and photons, particles of light, can behave both as particles and as waves. When these particles are not being observed, they exist in a state of superposition, meaning they can be in multiple states or places at once, much like waves. However, when scientists measure or observe the particle, it collapses into a single state. For example, if you try to measure the position of an electron, it will take on a definite location, behaving like a particle. Before you measure it, it can be thought of as existing in multiple locations simultaneously, like a wave. 2. The double-slit experiment. One of the most famous experiments demonstrating the observer effect is the double-slit experiment. Here's how it works. When scientists fire particles like electrons through two narrow slits in a barrier and no one observes them, they create an interference pattern on a screen behind the barrier. This pattern is typical of waves and suggests that the electrons are behaving like waves, traveling through both slits at the same time. However, when scientists set up a measurement device to observe which slit the electrons go through, the interference pattern disappears. Instead of behaving like waves, the electrons act like particles, going through one slit or the other. This change in behavior based on whether or not the particles are being observed is a striking example of the observer effect. 3. Implications of the observer effect. The observer effect raises profound questions about the nature of reality. Reality is influenced by observation. The fact that particles behave differently when measured shows that reality may not be as fixed as we have been previously taught. Instead, it can be influenced by our observations. The role of consciousness. Quantum mechanics shows us that consciousness plays a role in shaping reality. This information is not your average information. These studies into quantum physics gives us a glimpse into the natural way that the divine works. It's beginning to show us how we are made manifest. While the observer effect is most commonly discussed in the context of quantum particles, it can also be related to everyday experiences. For instance, consider how your behavior changes when you know someone is watching you. You might act more carefully or differently when you feel observed, just as particles behave differently when measured. The observer effect in quantum physics demonstrates that the act of observing particles can fundamentally change their behavior. This shows that consciousness, your awareness, is what generates reality itself. The famous double-slit experiment vividly illustrates this concept, revealing the surprising and counterintuitive nature of the quantum world. This idea challenges our understanding of reality and calls us to think about the relationship between observers and the observed. It encourages us to consider how our perceptions and actions influence the world around us. When we learn about how the all is mind here at Podling's Academy, quantum physics will take on an entirely new meaning. Suddenly, God and how God operates will seem a lot more tangible in your reality. How can we use quantum physics to improve our lives? 1. The power of thoughts. One of the most exciting ideas from quantum physics is that the act of observing particles can change their behavior. This is called the observer effect. If you think about it, this can remind us that our thoughts are powerful. Just like particles, our thoughts can shape our reality. How can you use this? Start paying attention to your thoughts. If you want to be more confident, practice thinking positively about yourself. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I can learn and grow." This shift in mindset can create a positive ripple effect in your life, just like how observing particles changes their behavior. 2. Belief in possibilities. Quantum physics teaches us that many possibilities exist at the same time until we make a choice or observe one. This can inspire you to believe in the endless possibilities in your own life. How can you use this? When facing a challenge, instead of feeling stuck, think about all the possible solutions. For example, if you struggle with a math problem, remind yourself that there are many ways to approach it. Try different strategies, and you might discover new strengths you didn't know you had. 3. Mindfulness and connection. Remember the concept of entanglement, where particles are connected no matter how far apart they are. This can remind us of our connection to others and the world around us. How can you use this? Practice mindfulness and gratitude. Take a moment each day to appreciate the people in your life and the beauty around you. When you feel connected and grateful, it can lift your mood and improve your mental state. Try keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. 4. Visualizing your goals. In quantum physics, potential energy exists until it's activated. This is similar to how your dreams and goals can be potential until you take action to make them real. How can you use this? Start visualizing your goals. Picture yourself achieving something you desire, whether that's acing a test, making a new friend, or trying a new sport. Visualization can help you feel more motivated and focused on taking the steps needed to turn those dreams into reality. 5. Embrace change. Quantum physics shows us that change is a natural part of the universe. Just like particles can shift and move, so can our lives. How can you use this? Instead of fearing change, embrace it. Understand that change can be an opportunity for growth and new experiences. When something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This mindset can help you navigate the ups and downs of life with confidence. Quantum physics isn't just a fascinating science, it can be a powerful tool for enhancing our lives and mental states. By harnessing the ideas of observation, belief in possibilities, connection, visualization, and embracing change, you can unlock your potential and create a more fulfilling life. So, let's recap what quantum physics is. Quantum physics studies the tiniest parts of our universe, like atoms and subatomic particles. These particles can behave in surprising ways, like being in two places at once, or being mysteriously connected through entanglement. These amazing concepts not only change how we see the universe, but can also inspire us to think differently about our own lives. As we continue to explore metaphysical concepts, it will become clear that quantum physics is the science of spirit. Thank you for joining us today. Interested in a metaphysical book for children? Check out A is for Ascension, the ABCs of Metaphysics, our newest children's book available on Amazon. Interested in studying free metaphysical classes? Visit podlingsacademy.com. Would you like help with your own ascension? Visit transcendingascension.com. Until next time, transcending ascension.